Friends, this is going to be a wild time. I'm Danny Spirit and welcome to my channel. Basically, this channel, I'm just going to talk about what the F is going on in the world. So from entertainment to technology, just cultural affairs, pop culture, basically just that. And it's going to be one great time. So I will maybe post occasional content from other things here and there, but we'll see where this channel goes. So stay tuned, and if you like this video, I know you will get a kick out of this channel and you get a kick out of A Week to Forget. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because I will be posting weekly every Sunday. I know. So let's get started. This is A Week to Forget, and this is a series on my channel where basically we're just going to talk about what's going on in the week. We're not going to pick like headlines, but we're going to touch on broader topics that those headlines kind of generate. And I think you'll get a really fun, entertaining, but informative look on what's going on, especially
here selfishly in America.
But yeah, like just pop culture, entertainment, technology, that kind of stuff. We're gonna keep it real, but we're also gonna keep it objective in A Week to Forget. And I'm gonna give my 2 cents, but I am going to like take a step back. But I'm also gonna like entertain you guys. This is like what I want. So without further ado, let's get started with the first topic. Okay, so this week's first topic is big events, or more like the return of big events. And we know that why they're returning. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about the pandemic. Like, it's just been one wild ride. We know what's been going on over the last year and a half. We know everything was canceled. We know so many people lost their jobs, especially in the sectors of entertainment and services, just like retail, food, any of that. Like, there's just so much pain and like devastation that this pandemic caused, and everything was canceled. Just last year, 2020, American culture just like only existed online, basically. That I feel like was just a huge shock to so many people, and it just caused so much anxiety. And most of America is vaccinated, and people are ready to spend. Like, consumers are starting to get back on track. There's jobs being added every month. Like, we're getting kind of backed into it, and I'm liking it.
I'm liking it a lot.
Because this means that big events are back. And that means concerts, festivals, just like anything like with more than like 50 people in like designated space. And then these entertainment companies really had to pivot to these virtual offerings, like these virtual concerts. I mean, like, not even entertainment companies, pretty much just like anyone who like needed revenue and needed like a group setting of consumers needed to go online during 2020. During the pandemic, like, it's still going on. And I feel like with virtual concerts, this really culminated in 2020 with Dua Lipa's Studio 2054. Studio 2054, like, you guys need to know these numbers. This was like the biggest virtual concert of 2020, in case like you didn't know. It took over 5 months to plan. It cost $1.5 million in production. And I think they sold over 284,000 tickets. So I would say that was a huge success for Dua Lipa. And I think it really goes to show that there is a spot in the sort of entertainment concert venue space to give these sort of virtual offerings. So I'm really curious to see what artists do with that moving forward. I mean, like, so much, as you know, of our lives have been virtual for the last year and a half. So I'm really curious to know if concerts will have like a virtual sort of like option that you can kind of attend online just from the comfort of your home. But like, you know, the concerts maybe going 30 miles away and you just like don't have tickets and this is a cheaper option, or it's just a whole separate experience. Like there's just like so much opportunity with this, because Dua Lipa's, as an example, was something that was obviously pre-recorded, planned out, had tons of like guest appearances, just like so much production involved that like you can't really replicate that across a broad like structure. So I'm just like really curious to see how this evolves. But more and more festivals, like they're gonna come back. They are coming back.
We noticed.
They are gonna come back with lower restrictions and just like full force, because there's so much money that is just being lost even when it comes to these bigger festivals, and they don't sell those 4-day passes, they don't sell those VIP packages. There's just like so much less money, so you'll see more and more things opening up in this space, especially the further into summer we get. We do know that the Live Nation CEO came out like I think a month ago just saying that there's been tickets selling out just so quickly. This has been such a pent-up demand, and I think it's really like honestly true. I think consumers are ready to get back in action. They're ready for this summer.
Let's go. They're ready.
For this summer to just like party and to like just do their own thing. So I really want to know what you guys think about this. Are you ready for concerts? Are you not ready for concerts or festivals or any of that? Let me know. Like, I'm so curious, because this isn't a thing that's going to exist in such a gray area until people's comfort levels come back. And I think that's not going to happen really until 2022 fully. So let me know. I love marketing. If you haven't been following gaming in the last like 8 years or so, like it's been a minute, but CD Projekt came out with Cyberpunk 2077 last year, and it was by far the most hyped game like literally all of last decade, and we're about to get into it. So Cyberpunk 2077 is a video game by Polish developer CD Projekt. It came out for Xbox, PC, and it was gonna come out for PlayStation until a shitstorm tsunami for the past year and a half, ongoing through the pandemic, just like destroyed everything. So I need to like spill the timeline for you guys. This whole thing started like literally 8+ years ago. Like I think it was 2013 when they first made this initial Cyberpunk 2077 announcement with that like cinematic trailer and that Blade girl. So basically like 2013, Witcher 3 I think was out at that point, maybe it was 2014, but it was a huge success, which honestly gained them a lot of fan service. I mean, Witcher 1 and 2 were already pretty big in the RPG area. Like if you were well versed in that like gaming scene back then, like you knew of the Witcher 1 and 2. But when Witcher 3 came out, like it was a big deal. Critics loved it, the people loved it, everyone loved it. There wasn't really any announcements for Cyberpunk 2077 until 2018. So like there was so much development time in that period. And it wasn't until 2018 that they started showing gameplay, and that's I think when the marketing officially launched for Cyberpunk 2077. But you know, like the hype grew like so large after this like 2018 announcement. Like I think it was at E3. It won so many E3 game awards. Like I think just like everyone was just so ready for Cyberpunk 2077 that when the pandemic hit, everything changed. CD Projekt decided to, like, going into 2020, delay this game 3 times. And that pushed it, I think, from like maybe like a spring, June to November to December, and like right before the holiday season, and it did not go well. So this caused so much backlash. There were so many bugs, especially for console owners, that the public just was like, oh my god, like what is going on? We need a refund. So with Xbox, the refund policy was fine. There was no issues. People were refunding. But with PlayStation, there were so many bulk refunds that the PlayStation policy was so strict as well with refunds that it just caused so much chaos, and they were denying actual refunds. And what happened was like the player base just like complained and complained, and PlayStation ended up delisting Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store, which they are still now 7 months later, or 6 months later, still delisted. Like, it's wild. Profit is down 65%. 65%. Like what like analysts expected, which is just wild, because it goes to show that one, this delisting definitely did not help, and two, all of that hype bubble that just got burst when it got released did not help the situation either. So, I mean, I think the story is basically like, when all this doesn't meet consumer expectations, this is what happens. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that like and subscribe. I'm Danny Spirit, and this is A Week to Forget. And yeah, I will see you next Sunday.